I'm talking to me here as well. And the question I just want to ask all of us and ask myself, how much are we yearning for the presence of the living God? Because that is our strength, that is our sustenance, that is our everything, that is our all. And a lot of this psalm, some of this psalm is talking about yearning for the presence of the living God. And God identifies with the Son as the giver of life and a protective shield. No matter what we're going through in our lives, no matter what we're facing, God is our protective shield and he wants to protect us. God's called my King, my God. Now, one thing that God said to me as I was getting this together, God is the power behind us and he's the power in our lives. And the more we yearn for his presence, the more we spend time in his presence. The more we will know that intimacy, the more we will know that closeness, the more we will know him helping us and giving us the strength we need in our lives. How lovely is thy dwelling place. The first part of the psalm, verses 1 to 4, shows and portrays the beauty of the heavenly place where the Lord dwells. Our souls yearn, even faint, to be in his presence. I don't know about you, but I just get so excited when I'm in the presence of God. I just get so excited to be with him. And you know, folks, sometimes all of us, we will pass through the valley of weeping. We will pass through the valley of difficulties, because sometimes these things happen in life. But the way to get through them, and what this psalm is talking about, is focusing ourselves on delighting God in worship, like we've been doing tonight. You know, God wants us to give us a love for his house. And the more we do it, the more we have that spiritual desire to just be with God, to be in his presence. That's why I love so much running in his presence. I just could go on singing all night. I probably would get in trouble if I did, but I just get so excited. It's just so amazing to be able to be in the presence of God, worshipping him. God wants to give us that spiritual desire. And he wants us to be able to, sometimes, just as married couples or people that are courting say to each other, I love you, I love you. God wants us to be able to have times when we can just set these times aside and just tell God how much we love him. And sometimes it's in these times of worship, in our times of prayer, that we can tell God how much we love him. He is the living God, he's alive. It's not just in a piece of paper or in a book. God's alive, and he just wants us to be intimate with him. And he wants us to be able to find the sacred places to meet with him. And in our house, I have a room upstairs that I quite often meet with God, and I feel God speaking to me. And in our lounge and in the little back room, there's 3 different places. And they are like sacred places where God speaks, and God wants us to give us the sacred places where we can meet with him. He's our King. And he's just reminded us tonight, all of us, that we are the blessed ones. You know, sometimes it's so easy to moan about everything, you know, and me and Nick sometimes have to stop ourselves. But God wants us to know that we are the blessed ones. And that we're forever praising him. He wants us to be forever praising him. That's what all this psalm is talking about. That he's our strength. Do we need strength tonight? God can give us that strength we need. He's our divine protector. He protects us. He looks after us. He wants us to progress spiritually, to keep moving on spiritually, and to have that love for his house. He just wants us to be humble people, to trust him, and to trust his promises, to trust God's promises. So maybe, you know, later on tonight or tomorrow, maybe just look over this psalm again and just pray about it. And sometimes it's a bit like a blocked drain, isn't it? You know, if the old, every so often our shower gets blocked up and I have to try and sort it out, to, you know, get all the hairs out and just get all the stuff out so it can, the water can go down it again. And sometimes we can let things block up, you know, our walk with God, or get in the way of our walk with God. And God just wants us to be able to, as his people, to just, you know, take those things away and to give them to him. So I hope that little word has helped tonight. And I'm just going to